Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to you tonight, Brian. What you're going to say. I know what you're going to say,
Here
so
we go,
I'm looking
guys.
forward.
Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to tonight's show. Of course, I'm Doc G. This is Chances Chat. We are here with a bunch of people, so let's get started. This is for information purposes only and also may not be. Welcome, Chances Chat.
Greetings. How are you? Okay. Good evening, terra firma. How are you? Okay, we got a lot of fun. We're gonna have some fun tonight. It's hat night because Wyatt said that's what I did on my first show. So I hadn't even seen my first show. I guess it sucked from what I remember. But anyway, it's all good because we got a great team here tonight, and we got some guests stopping in, and we got really good information for you. And listen, guys. I want you to pay close attention to what Fascinating Brian has tonight, okay? Because he's going to talk about something that affects everybody, okay? Everybody, no matter who you are or where you are listening on this terra firma, okay? So pay close attention to what he's saying because it's very, very significant. I'm going to start out tonight by reading something that I put on my Facebook page. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's significant. Okay, it's very, very significant. And where's my page at? Come on. Okay, because here's the deal. This information that I'm getting ready to give you right now is from a company called Newsweek or Newsbreak. I posted a video about the imminent collapse of the IRS and the Federal Reserve. If you're getting hassled by the by the IRS, then you need some documents to put your process in the air. But here's what I've got to say about. Okay, Social Security recipients, people on Social Security or SSI or Social Security Disability are supposed to get $5.1 thousand this week. And I would imagine that's going to be before the end of the month. There was a date. There was a date that was given, but I think they said by the end of the month, everybody should be seeing this. And the reason I posted that, go ahead on my Facebook page and look at that, okay? Because what I'm thinking is, isn't it crazy all this Juneteenth stuff is happening and everything's happening on the 14th and, supposedly according to the experts, Jesus was crucified on the 14th and this and that and the other thing and Wyatt's information that he's getting ready to drop some bombs on you. And I want you to pay close attention to what Wyatt says, especially if you live in the area of a riot. I want you to listen up very closely and make notes. Because if you feel like you're a super patriot, and I feel like I'm a super patriot, anyway, the reason I don't want you to grab your gun and go down there to the riots. Don't do that. Wyatt's going to tell you all about it. And Doc G is very, very, we're just before the show. He's very, very distraught this evening about his friends that are getting sued for this and sued for that, and their houses are being tried to take away from them. Guys, this is the last hurrah. This is the last vestige of the cable guys doing their dirty deeds, doing them dirt cheap. Okay? The whole bottom's getting ready to fall out of everything for the end of the month. But we don't know exactly how it's going to transpire. Is the I think the EAS and the RV announcements and the stock market crash and the speedboat scenario that I've talked about so many times is all going to happen at one time. Internet outage. One thing oh, wait a minute. Somebody says I received $55 deposit yesterday, second Wednesday, and it was the usual. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but we're expecting something. Okay, because we got to give people. Well, everything's on. The internet's down, and my cell phone don't work, and I don't know what the hell to do, and what am I going to do? But at least I got $5,000 the government sent me, so I can go out and get groceries, and I can get food and gas and pay the bills. And you see what I'm saying? So that's why I think it lines up. So we're going to have Wyatt tell you a little bit about the information that he's got and a very stern warning. And please take his warning seriously. I'm going to turn it over to Wyatt now, and Brian will be on right after that. So thank you. Hang on.
Thanks, Chance. Now, first of all, I want to say that these riots are a planned insurrection by the deep state, by the Democrats, who are deep state, right? And the Soros minions, right? Crisis actors are being employed to get out there and stir up trouble, right? This is an insurrection against the United States government. Now, as Chance said, patriots want to be patriots, but the thing, as a patriot, what you need to do is to stay home. Stay safe until this is all over. Let the military and the police and the authorities deal with it. The reason for that is if the EAS goes off and they declare martial law because of these riots, your Bill of Rights, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh amendments are suspended. They will no longer be in place, and habeas corpus will no longer be in place. You will come under military jurisdiction and you will be tribunaled. You will not go to a court. You'll be going to a tribunal. And the penalties are very, very severe. And they've already started to warn people about getting involved and what the penalties would be if people get involved, especially if for the protesters breaking through barricades in New York City. They have been warned that they will be subject to immediate arrest, right? Because they'll be going for obstruction of the United States government. Right? That's one charge. But if you get involved in these things, whether you're there to help the military or not, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, so stay home and just look after your own property. Okay, but if martial law comes because of this, and it's likely, this could be the predicate. So you need to listen to what they tell you and take it literally, because they're not going to mess around, and President Trump is not playing. I'm wearing a Marine Corps cover. It was given to me by a United States Marine. And it's an honor to be given one of these, I can assure you. But I'm in full support of the Marines and the United States military doing what they've got to do to stop this insurrection and to get rid of these illegals. And they're also arresting deep staters. Don't you worry, they are arresting deep state operatives. So this is where the mass arrests have actually begun. The sealed indictments have been opened, right? So they're going through them. All right, on to another subject. Last week I was talking about Australia and its constitution. and how it was all fraud. Well, it is. It's all fraud. Right? Queen Victoria never actually signed off on the Australian Constitution. Right? Although it bore the seal, it was not Queen Victoria's signature on that. So it was never ratified. And it can't be ratified because the English Parliament is a nonsense as well, because of the fact that the English Constitution is made up of the Magna Carta and other statutes and acts. It's the King's Parliament. It does the business of the monarchy. It doesn't do anything for the people. Okay, when people start to look into it, and you'll understand. If you want to understand what the power of the Australian Constitution, go and look up the Acts Interpretation Act of 1901. And in there, in the first section, you will see that when they talk about Australia, it's in the geographic sense only. All right. And this is the reason why we have to, that's why we've become part of the kingdom of the North American Union. Now, Doc, do you have the map?
I didn't see any emails come through yet.
Oh, Chance hasn't sent it to you yet. Okay. Chance, do you have the map?
Yeah, I didn't get it yet.
Yeah. So, so we're going to show you what the seven kingdoms look like, because as above, so below. There are seven kingdoms of heaven, and there are to be seven kingdoms on earth. And it's a reflection of God's law. Okay.
Wyatt, I'm looking for it right now. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, no worries. No, that's fine.
I wonder if it went into my.
But insofar as Iran is concerned, the deal that was supposed to be being brokered has fallen through, which, puts Iran in the hot seat, as it were, and America in the hot seat, because of the fact that, Iran is the I hate America central. So, we're definitely looking at a possibility of that even being a predicate for the EAS, right? As the fake World War III scenario starts to play out, and it's all happening from this weekend on. Now, President Trump was at at Fort Bragg, and he was addressing the special forces there, and he was wearing the maroon cap with the spearhead on it, and that is an indicator of the end of the game, right? And it's at the tippy top, and it's the pointy end of everything. So he's not playing, and it's going to be one hell of a weekend. Not only that, we've got the Army, the United States Army, having its birthday this weekend. So then there's the parade that's scheduled as well, and President Trump is actually helping to fund that out of his own pocket. I mean, this man absolutely loves the military. Anybody who says that he's a Zionist and all that, you've got to be kidding me. Netanyahu's throwing a fit because of the fact that President Trump is not talking to him. And this is all about October the 7th. This is all coming back to October the 7th. So how you going there, Chance? You got that map for me, brother?
Not you. I can't. I haven't received an email from you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll have to send me
get back to it later.
So I can
I'll
send
get back
you
to
Doc.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get back to it later. And I want to give a special shout out to my Templar brothers, Arn and Doug, who watched this show. And Doug, she spoke to me last night. That's just a private message. But anyway, yeah, so we were definitely at the pointy end. I think we're going to get the EAS before we get the RV. Okay, I really do believe that. I think we will get we'll get the EAS, we'll get the 10 days, and then as soon as that is finished, I think we will go to the redemption centers and do our exchanges. That's my personal opinion. But there is certainly something going to happen on the 15th, which is Sunday. And I think something is going to happen on Tuesday, the 17th, because there's always something that happens on Q Day. But anyway, right now, as I said before, stay in place, stay at home, stay safe. Do not get involved in trying to help with the military with these riots. I mean, they're going to be putting tanks on the streets. Okay, right. So and this will escalate, but it will all be quelled very, very quickly. And these were the cities that we were warned about ages ago by Q. Right? They've identified these as they knew it was coming. This is Project Looking Glass. And speaking of Project Looking Glass, go and watch a movie called Paycheck. Okay, Paycheck. That's soft disclosure on the Project Looking Glass. Anyway, I will turn it back over to you for now, Chance. Thank you very much for listening. You're muted.
Unmute yourself, Chance.
It's like Wyatt said, don't go down there and try to be a super patriot. Let the military do their job, okay? Because the only thing that really matters is your safety, okay? We want you around for the new republic. We want to help you. We need your help. We need your help to govern ourselves, because all this city corporation crap is going to be gone, okay? And so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to put your big boy pants on, and you're going to have to show up for meetings in the government for common law. And we will have unincorporated cities again, okay? Because incorporated cities are going bye-bye. Everything's going to be unincorporated, because you cannot have a corporation and have common law. You can't do it, okay? So just get ready. You're going to be part of the government, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, then somebody else will step in for you, okay? Because this is what we need to govern ourselves. We don't need a compliance officer that makes $93,000 a year to come knock on your door and say, Mr. McFadden, your yard is too high by 3 inches. I'm going to have to fine you $200 if you don't get it mowed today. That never happened, but it could. Okay? A compliance officer that goes around and reminds people, okay, to mow their yards, pick up their trash, which is common sense. We don't need that. That's $93,000 a year wasted money that could be going back to we the people, okay? I want you guys to know I'm going to be very, very active and verbal in the unincorporated government of the city of Fort Madison, okay? I just found out my good friend Tom, he's a good dude, okay? He's a real good dude. And he said that they're approaching him to run for mayor, and they were also approaching me. And I don't have time for it. I don't want it. And Tom would be great, okay? Tom, the heat and air guy down the street, he'd be great for the mayor, okay? And I would support him 100%, and I I would be liquid enough at the time to make sure that that everybody knows that he's going to be the man, okay? And this is the kind of people we need running governments. Good old boys, good people with common sense that knows right from wrong, okay? Okay? So that's all it is. God's law is common law, okay? So do unto others as you would do unto yourself, okay? All right? Now, speaking about doing unto others, Fascinating Brian and I were talking about something today, and I said, don't even talk to me about it anymore, Brian. Nope, save it for the show because it's too good, okay? And this has to do with every one of us. And it also has to do with your terms and conditions that you put out to the universe. And with that, I'm going to turn it all over to Fascinating Brian.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. All right. So I'm going to state a statement which everyone should know and understand. But first things first, take a couple of deep breaths, center yourselves. If you need to put your hand over your heart, just so you can identify the energy, whether it represents you or not. It's more of like feeling for the truth. The reason why I'm presenting this statement first in this way is because everyone needs a deeper realization to their own individual truth. That also includes me. Keep in mind, even though I work the human avatar, I am not my name or identity. And I have to state this statement too again. So even though you call me Fascinating Brian, I know the higher self. I know what I look like. I have my original name. That means I'm operating as a higher entity in a lower formatted game board. So that's for those that didn't know. Now, shifting gears back to the topic, as I have stated before, and I'm going to give you a different interpretation. It's still related as to what Wyatt said, but it's a bit different. Okay, so we all know that there is a collective, what you would call, timeline. So it means that we navigate a wave. We all share a wave. And let me give you an example. Let's say we're on Earth and you have to include a decimal point. So I'm going to say we're on Earth 369. And yes, I just picked those numbers because I like those numbers. So 369.023 whatever 4. So let's say I'm on 0234, 0.0234. Wyatt is on point 369.124. So as you noticed, there's a primary number because math is a universal language and frequency. So, but because it is a universal frequency, it also means it is a constant in energy, meaning there's always a fluctuation. There's no stagnation in energy. It cannot be contained. No matter how you look at it, there's always a fluctuation in the idea of energy. So back to the topic, and I'll do a little bit of storytelling. I have not enjoyed about a week and a half of anything, really. I'm not content. I'm not happy. I'm not grounded as I usually would be grounded. And so you're like, oh, well, seems like a powerhouse. Why is he not grounded? It's because of the environment. So the environment isn't conducive for me anymore because of the chemtrails. They are heavily spraying. It's low haze. You can see the particles. You can feel it. It feels gross. It feels like something's trying to rewire me. Literally. Like robotoid me. Like a organic, like more like a hybridized version of like a robot in a gray. Sounds terrible, right? But that's the feeling that I get from all of this. And I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. And as a star seed in this game board, I do have a right. I do have a right to contest the system at play. So I reject everything. And I want people to understand you can be kind, you can be benevolent, but at some point in time, you're going to have to set new terms and conditions. And I told Chance, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what the voodoo doctors would do with their black magic, because there's white magic, there's benevolent intention in it. You can curse, you can throw curses out in the universe. And the curse that I have chosen, that I feel makes more sense, is like a cosmic universal statement of the RICO Act, meaning I want all those that are literally infringing in my journey here on the surface, because there are galactic rules to the surface. They are not supposed to infringe in the development and in the growth. And I'm hinting at a very big round ball that's got rings all over it that begins with an S and ends with an N in the controllers. I am also including all of those people, being the Luciferians or the Cabal, both sides. I don't care if you're good. I don't care if you're bad. I don't care if you're saying you are all doing the best that you can. I'm marking you because it doesn't have to be this way. None of these problems, none of the script, none of the story, it has to be this way. So you're wondering, well, why is it? Are you saying that I thought all this stuff is designed to wake up the humans? No, it is not. That's another lie. Okay? A majority of the source that used to be human, and we're talking a huge percentage, like conscious awareness. That means soul or spirit that had an authenticity, like you can engage it without it being reactionary, without it being hostile, without it just going on the fritz. That means there used to be spirit or a consciousness that dwelled in the human. A great many on this planet are just autopilot now. There isn't enough. The originals, the ones that had the vibrancy, they have all cut ties. They're still tethered to their original vessel till it dies. So you can imagine they're already anchored in. They have a higher focus and concentration of their consciousness, and they're playing on another timeline that doesn't have this huge detriment, this huge fake everything, where it's part of the game show, it's part of the transition, it's part of the formula. So you're like wondering, oh, well, I thought everyone is good, they're here for us. I'm like, really? You may want to rethink that. So if these chemtrails they could have nipped this in the bud. Think about it. The congressional, all the people that are in power, they had the opportunity to stop everything, right? That includes the reestablishment of Trump. That means his whole entire team could have said, okay, we've already seen what they've been doing for years. That means they could have stopped a lot of this stuff. So then you have to question who's really in control. Think about the TRB. The TRBs are still going on. And has he said anything about them? Stated a statement, look, you're all being subjected to scams. No, you have not. So who's in control? Is it a Luciferian? Is it Cabal? We don't know. Is it both? Well, I'll tell you what I do know. There is a greater idea of control that wants a new hybridized mindset. So the more contaminated you are with metals, and then they can add their own nanotech in your body, and then they can switch you on, and then they can import a fictitious or a non-organic conscious-based program, if you can imagine someone moving you around with, the arrow keys from afar, looking down in a satellite and going, look at that idiot, I'm making them bump into the wall. Isn't that cool? That's something what they're aiming for. It is another controlled structure or mindset. And you're like, oh God, that's so terrifying and fearful. Yeah, that could be terrifying and fearful aspect. But this is where I'm alluding to next. You have the opportunity to shift away from all of that, right? But you need to know your own mind. You need to know your own heart. So for my version, I don't care anymore. I don't care about NESARA. I don't care about GESARA. I don't care about money. I don't care about the abundance down here. And you're like, well, but you're here. I was like, no, I'm a guest here. I already know where I'm going next. I have a greater role that I can contribute outside looking in, because that's where I will truly shine. That's where my abundance lies, because I can get things done differently than inside the bubble that everyone else is focused on. It's fine. That is fine. That is your right as consciously developing entities. If you are not in a place to where you are more expanded in your knowledge base, or if you don't have access to your true I am, your higher identity, then you're going to operate within certain rules and conditions. Nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine if that is a part of your growth in your journey, but you still need to pick. So why am I saying you need to pick? Because time is actually drawn to a close. I don't know the date. I just know it's drawn to the close. So everyone is going to get a variant, and we've said this before, both positive and both negative. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not know your own heart, you don't know your own mind, you don't know your own focus in your authenticity, you're going to get exactly what you want. And I guarantee it's not going to be the same as chances. And not at all. Yours will be even less than in the abundance because of your worries, because of your fearfulness, because of your stress and your complacency and not being able to take care of your own emotional bandwidth. It's really something that you're going to have to consider as you move forward. And, as unpleasant as this may sound, we're all separating. You're thinking, oh, I thought we're all staying together. I'm like, no, many of you, you're going to go to a lower 4. It's going to have the NESARA, GESARA, but it's still going to have a lot of the garbage. It's going to have chemtrails still. It's going to have programming. It's going to have Luciferians. You'll get a type of RV, but it's not going to be the RV you thought because you're too focused external versus internal. So you need to figure out and identify and think and create the ideal RV for yourself. None of it matters. That means stop focusing, in my opinion, also in my guide's opinions, stop paying attention to the news. Don't worry about the things you cannot control. Stop looking for information where you only need limited information. So what is the limited information that you need? It has to pertain to you. What do I want to see? Write down the questions. What do I want to create? What do I want to focus on? And at what density, you need to think about this too. What density do you want to play in? You have to be clever with your energy, with your frequency, and your focus, or you're going to get the ballpark. If you do none of the work, you're going to get the ballpark. And I've seen, I'm not naming names, but there's a huge percentage you're going to get the ballpark. It's actually very few that are going to get the hard line timeline, the desired timeline that they want, that they worked hard, they sought after, they saw it within themselves versus seen outwardly. And this will probably be the last message I will say of this. Again, I'm done being a guide here. It is exhausting. It's tiring. My goal is to transition out of here. I did the job. I did the best I could. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm just for the density that doesn't require the money. It doesn't require Nasara Jasara. It's already has its holistic society. There are no ice walls where I'm living, and there's no separation between races in my perception that I see. And what I see is 10 times more vibrant. It's beautiful. There isn't a survival mechanism. I can meet any race I want to meet. Why would I want to endeavor to play in a lower format ever again? It doesn't make sense to me. So you may need to think about that. Endeavor to consciously think, what would be the coolest thing that I could experience? It's fine if you want to be encased in a bubble, if you want to be surrounded by, and I'm going to say it from my perspective, boring humans. I mean, for me, it's boring because I can meet different races of humans, but I'm like, that's it? I'm like, what if I wanted to meet an ant person? You know, that'd be cool. Or maybe an elf. That's even cooler. No offense to the ant people, but I'm just saying. So just be aware of your attention, your energy, what you want to create, what you want to see, what you want to feel. And you're going to be better prepared. But again, energetically speaking, I do feel time is short. It really is short. However, I would also encourage any and all star seeds or human seeds that have been seeded on the planet to say, look, they have invaded on the surface far long enough. That means you can send a clarion call out. You could say to all star races, we give you permission. You can find the loopholes, call the guides. The guides will give you the loopholes because they are literally infringing on our journey. They've taken away so much from us, and they still continue to take and take and take. So the question is, have you had enough yet? Are you going to stand by, energetically speaking, and do nothing with your energy? You have so much creative energy. You just need to send the signals out. What better way to fight back than just send your signal out? But so many of you don't send the right signal. You just send the signal, I'm doing horribly. I'm in a pity party mood, or, oh, this is just, it's too much. I can't take it. Why send the same signal out when you know all you're going to do is get that right back the very next day, and then you're going to continue your Groundhog's Day like Bill Murray? Really, it's up to you. So with grace, gratitude, and respect, take charge. Take charge now. The summer solstice is coming up. And it's imperative that you start working before the summer solstice hits. So, as I said, the different version I see is everyone is actually separating. Some people will see each other, but you're going to have your own kind of dream-like scenario where there's just many of you, you're not even going to remember this show. You'll be like, I thought I used to do this show on Thursday, but I don't know what it is. But you'll have a reference of Nasara Jasara. It just means it may be imprinted differently because we're all interdimensional and transdimensional. But again, it could be like the low 40. That means they're going to take from you again. Yeah, you may get an experience, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the most vibrant and benevolent existence that you endeavored on, all because you didn't do the hard work. So take this opportunity now to, get a pen, paper, maybe make some notes, do some more self-discovery, figure out the density, write down density. You could put question marks on both sides. What do I want to live in? What's the type of board game that I want to play on or create in? What do I want to see? Don't limit yourself. Don't worry about it if it doesn't happen as you expected. Because again, within the constant of frequency, there's always buoyancy. But if you focus, you can limit the broad bandwidth, meaning you'll shorten that bandwidth to a nice, thicker consistency, and then you'll stay within all the likes, all the ideas that you wanted to swim and play with. You'll stay within that narrow margin. That's what you want. You don't want this. If you get that, you're screwed. Well, in my opinion, you're not screwed. You're just going to get what you get. So, but you may feel screwed. So again, think about it. Use the time to rediscover, ask questions, write it down, play, and get in tune and redefine yourself. That's it.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate that. Wanda had a question, Doc. What was the question Wanda had up there? Somebody wanted me to answer it. Could you put that on the screen, please? Hey, Chance, question. I get you said to help your family, friends, town, etc. when we get our financial appointment, but wouldn't our family and friends get their own appointments? Not unless they're holding currency, and none of my family believes in this. Okay? I'm odd man out. You guys know how that feels? Yeah. We're the conspiracy theorists, okay? We're odd man out. Okay? My family won't understand it when it comes. They'll just say, "Oh, Dad's rich, and we can go get whatever we want." Dad's fixed that. Okay? Each kid will be a trustee. I will appoint them a trustee, and they'll have jobs to do. And they will each get a salary every year. If they don't do their job, then I'll replace them. That goes with my kids and grandkids. That's the only way you can't hand money, but if you give them a job that has a salary, then you can just disperse money to them through the trust. Okay? Yeah, I get it, Doc. And so I'm going to go here in the next 30 days. I'm going to go from a conspiracy theorist to a hero. Okay? I'm trying to say I'm a hero already. I've been helping all you people with your legal problems. I've been trying, but the PDAC still hasn't been repealed, so there's not a lot I can do with these crooked-ass courts. But I'm going to tell you one thing. When it all goes down, it's going to be such a beautiful thing. I'm talking about my friend Drew, who's in the jail in Colorado. And I was talking to his chat group today. And I told him, I said, when Nasara is announced, the first place I'm going to go is to Colorado. And I'm going to get Drew out of there. Now, if you want to know how I'm going to get him out of there, I'm going to tell you. Because we'll still be in a transitional period. And I don't know if the courts will be eliminated or not. by the time I get out there, by the time we have Nasara. But that's a military thing, and I'm going to assume that there's transitional period. So I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to stand up before the warden of the facility that he's in, and I'm going to say, what is the cash value of this case? And I'm going to pay it on the spot, and he is to be released immediately to me. I will help him rebuild his life from the ground up. He knows this. He's waiting on me. I haven't talked to him in over a year, but he knows what's getting ready to happen. He knows it. He can feel it. He's one of the brightest young men. He's 35 years old. He's going to be working on the Law Dogs with me, I guarantee you. See, what I've been saying for ages, Brian, thank you, Chance, for the answer. I never thought of that, but I must quit moments. But let's see, we are told 20, it's actually 24 and above. It's 24 and above. So for getting the earned basic income, and you got to have a job. So if you want the earned basic income, you have to have a job. I don't care if you're flipping burgers at McDonald's. Well, if McDonald's even exists by that time, from what I'm here, there's a good possibility. Remember when POTUS went and was flipping burgers at McDonald's and going to the window and everything, and that was a message, guys. That was a message. Basically, he knows what's going on. And I really think McDonald's will be the first chain to fall, if you really want to know what I think. Burger chain, okay? It might come back in one form or another, but I don't know. I just got mixed feelings about it. But here's the thing: you're talking to a guy who used to love to eat McDonald's, and then I woke up, and I didn't wake up. I waked up. I'm awakened. I became awakened, and I don't want to eat their food no more. Okay, so I hope that answers her question. We should have Ann in. We got the. Did you get the map? Did you get the map thing I sent you, Doc?
I'm checking right now. I think I see it. I'll download it real quick.
And then after that, after Wyatt explains the map, then we're going to bring Ann on. Okay, Lillian's in England. She's not going to be with us tonight. And tonight's feature with guests is my new feature. It's called the Egg Timer. They get 15 minutes each, and when the little ding-dong bell goes off, the dogs will bark, and they will let you know that it's time to go on to the next thing. Okay. All right. So we've had too many shows that's gone late, and I know Doc G's awful hospitable and doesn't really care about it, but he's just like me. You know, if 9 o'clock comes, I'm ready to get off here because I'm tired. Okay. And if you don't think it costs any energy to put these shows together, you're out of your mind. Okay. And Doc does sometimes 2, 3, 4 shows a day. So so Doc at quarter after 9, here's Doc G over here going, oh, is he still talking?
Yeah, that's why he turns off his camera. He's having a nap.
Yeah, it's funny you say
All
that.
right.
All right.
So Angela, this is for you. So this will explain why America is having such an influence in Australia at the present moment. All right. So we've got 7 kingdoms. They're numbered. The first kingdom is the kingdom of the North American Union. Okay. And that takes in Canada, Mexico, United States, the Pacific Islands, New Zealand, and Australia and Papua New Guinea. Okay. So all those Pacific Islands, all those black spots you see, that is where it is. So now you have the number 3 is the kingdom of I think that's right, the Russian kingdom, up number 3, and and then you got the Middle East is the 6, and China number 4, all of that. All right. So these are the different kingdoms. We don't know the names of them yet, but we do know the name of number 1, which is the Kingdom of the North American Union. Okay. So we are part of that. Now, there is a big thing, and this is, as I said before, it's as above, so below. There are 7 kingdoms of heaven. We've got to have 7 kingdoms on earth, because this is Eden, right? This is Eden being divided up into 7 places. And why is America number 1? Because, believe it or not, America is God's country. Okay? It is. I don't care what anybody else says. You can disagree with me, and I really don't care. But it is God's country. All right? So what happens in America affects Australia, New Zealand, the Pacific Islands, Papua New Guinea. All right? And what America is doing is influencing the rest of the world as well. Why? Because it's the first kingdom. All right? And when you look at these other kingdoms, they have all pretty much like Africa, the Kingdom of Africa, right? And then you got like the Middle East and Russia and all that. Those places have already pretty much been done. It's only the Western society that hasn't, like America, Canada, Australia, and the like, that are still dragging the chain on all of this, because we're the ones that are holding it up. This is what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, is that the Western world, the developed world, the rich countries, we're actually not the rich countries. We're the third world countries. These other places that have been done and are waiting on us, they're the ones that got all the wealth. All right? They're reliant on us now. And we are just being too slow. But things have had to happen the way that they are happening, because the deep state are firmly entrenched in God's kingdom, number 1. And that's it. That they are firmly entrenched there. They've been taken out in all of the other kingdoms just about. China's got still a bit of a problem, but with the Communist Party, but that's pretty much it now. Now get a good look at that map while you can. So yeah, I hope that answers you, Angela. And insofar as King Charles, we're on King Charles 2.0. He was executed in, I believe, in 2017. We have a mask going there. All right. So, what's this? I'm looking forward to Elmo and Trump's meeting. Yes, oh my, he's going to get his backside handed to him on a platter. Elmo is. I'm telling you, that's the Prime Minister of Australia. He's going to get his backside handed to him, because he's still supporting Ukraine and Israel and and he's on the wrong side of history. So I can tell you now, it's not going to end well. But for Albanese. But the thing is, they're importing all of these. Here's the thing, Chance. They're importing all of these immigrants into Australia during a housing crisis, pushing Australians out onto the street because they can't afford the rents. And now they're doing such a good job, these politicians, these lowlifes, that they've just given themselves another pay rise when the country's hurting. This is wrong. And Australians, please wake the hell up. We've got to make a stand. This is just getting to the stage of absolute ridiculousness, and I'm sick and tired of dealing with it. I really am. And I'm so glad that this is going to be my last show on Chance's Chat prior to the RV. This will be my last chat on this channel prior to the RV. And I'm so glad of that, because I don't know. I just got the feeling that come next Thursday night, we won't be able to see anything on the internet except the 8-hour movies being played 3 times a day. All right. That's what I'm really, really hoping for right now to happen. And I want to see all of these deep staters swing and do a dance midair. I really do. I'm tired of it. I am absolutely tired of it. But it's definitely going to. But this will be my last pre-RV show, and I'm really looking forward to doing the show post-RV. I am really, really looking forward to that. But to all the people listening on Hamilton Radio, thank you for listening. But yes, please pay attention to what's going on insofar as the riots and whatnot like that, because this is the crescendo of the movie, folks. And you watch out, and then, then we'll have our this thing with Iran, because everything's gone south with that. It looks like we're going to be talking about the fake World War III scenario. So it's all about to happen. It's going to go bang in a big way, and then it will resolve very quickly thereafter. So there's your map, guys. I hope you have taken a screenshot and you can blow it up a little bit and see what's going on. All right, that's it for me for now. Thank you very much, Chance.
It's always a pleasure, Wyatt. Always a pleasure. Is Ann with us yet, Doc?
Not yet. I don't see Ann. Just Doc Wiedemann.
Okay. Well, let's. If Ann's not here yet, then that means she's probably busy. And let's go ahead and give Doc Wiedemann his 15 minutes, okay?
There you go, Doc.
Howdy.
The timer's running,
Yeah.
brother. Timer's running.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, we're
How'd
planning.
your show go Monday night?
It went pretty good. It was pretty busy, kind of intense. We are going to have Dr. Paige Mott, who is a chiropractor in Colorado, who adjusts animals. And she has been behind getting licensure for animals to be adjusted in Colorado and several other states. She's quite a big deal. So we're looking forward to having her. She's excited to be on the show, has a lot to offer in terms of talking about animals and stuff. And she's strong in chiropractic philosophy like I am. So we're looking forward to having her on. So, the only other thing I wanted to say tonight is if you need to get minerals, get docsminerals.com or get a hold of me or get a hold of Chance and just let us know. So that's really all I have to say.
Well, that's pretty awesome right there. Doc, tell them about and do they have any specials going on right now?
Well, just the special with the minerals, the 4 bottles for the price of what is it, $90 something, to get 4 bottles together.
That's a good deal, because I was paying $35 a bottle a year ago. That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal. So still a good deal. And every Wednesday there's a special on. I haven't told you about that yet, but they have what they call QV, double QV on items where you can qualify your position easily. And but anyway, making sure that you get educated, get on the website and watch the introduction to Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It took us 8 months to put that together because of I actually went in, I had to go to the library to get some of that stuff. And so Marvin helped me put that together and put it on, put it all into a video. He does all the video editing, but I did the research on the the Dead Doctors Don't Lie, is quite an impactful lecture in its day that thousands and thousands of people listened to it. And so I was so impressed with it, I decided to go ahead and look things up, and it's all factual. Every last part of that lecture is factual. And so we put pictures to it to illustrate it and to emphasize. I mean, for instance, there really was a man that lived to be 256 years old and died in 1930 something, somewhere around there. He was born in the 1600s, so I mean, he just happened to be taking all the minerals. So if you want to lengthen your life, you get on the minerals. And there's when I went with Marvin on a trip out east, Dr. Wallach was noted for helping people with muscular dystrophy and cystic fibrosis. And there was a gentleman there who had been a child when Marvin first went out there who had cystic fibrosis, and he helped him survive. And he's still alive today and running a puppy distribution center. They have several different puppy breeders around the country, and all of them have these minerals come through. There's water that comes through these little nipples, and it has in it, the Doc's minerals are mixed into it. And these puppies have, the breeders have found that they have reduced their, they have practically eliminated their, the rate of malformations and have pretty much eliminated mortality rates in puppies. In other words, when you have a batch of puppies, some of them may have a club foot or they may have a hair lip. It's eliminated that by putting the minerals in there. And I believe, that it's helped me tremendously over the years. I don't get sick. I don't have all these problems like prostate issues and diabetes and things like that myself. And, I'm certain that you want to live a healthier life and you want to live a longer life. Those are probably the greatest motivators of all. And plus the fact, if you join our team, we'll teach you how to share this with others and not only pay for your, we have 3 levels of distributors. Level 1, you don't want to do anything. You just want to buy the stuff. Level 2, you want to get your products paid for. And level 3, you want to make an income off of it. You can do all 3 if you want to. So takes a little effort, but a little bit of learning, but not too much. It's not very difficult because I found that over years, I don't have to sell the stuff. It sells itself. When you have a website as powerful as we have put together for you to use to help you with your longevity business, it literally sells itself. It's a matter of educating, and it's counter education to the falsehoods that are coming out of big pharma and the medical industrial complex. All of us have become tired of being deceived and killed with their protocols, their false protocols. And I'm sure that you want some truth in terms of your health. And Dr. Wallach is probably one of the most noteworthy individuals that in existence that has really done the research. He's done 17,000 autopsies on 456 species of animals and on 35 humans as a comparative pathologist. So I think that he's in a good position to be able to instruct you. He has 77 peer-reviewed articles. Now, I don't know of too many people that have had, I know a lot of people have had 1 or 2 peer-reviewed articles. He's had 77. And he sued the FDA 8.5 and has won 8.5 times. He
That's
sued
pretty
them 9
impressive.
times and won 8.5 times.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Well, Doc, I want to tell you, what's the name of your show?
The Wellness Revolution.
Wellness Revolution, 8 o'clock Monday nights. If for any reason they have to cancel, it's continued on to Wednesday nights. If Doc G can't make it or anything, so keep on Hamilton Radio 1 channel on YouTube, and you will. Are we on YouTube now?
Yes, but that's not true because it was only that one Wednesday night. I can't do it every Wednesday night.
Oh, okay, okay.
If his show isn't on Monday night, just look for it during the week. If not, we'll figure something out. Me and Doc. We got another show we got to do from the show that he missed the last time.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
an extra show we have to do. So
Yeah, listen.
yeah, I got one coming.
All you have to do is go to my private Telegram page, and we'll keep you up to date on Doc's shows. Okay, so make sure you tune in. I try to jump in whenever I can, but right now, today alone, I had 7 consultations with different people.
Well, you'll want to be on the one on Monday night.
What is it? Oh, the animal lady. The animal lady.
Yeah, the animal lady's going to be on there. Yeah, the animal
All right.
doctor is going to be on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to that, Doc. And I appreciate
Thank
you coming on. And guess what? You got finished before the timer went off. Congratulations.
Well, you've been wanting me to put it in a nutshell, so they give me the Reader's Digest version. So there it is.
I appreciate it. The dogs heard the ring, and that sounds like my doorbell. It really does. That's really strange. But, okay, I got to shut these guys up. Hey. Yeah, okay. Listen, I'm going to take this time since Ann isn't here. I want to tell everybody a little bit about an experience that I had this week. Okay, this has to do with the LifeWave patches. Now, if you want to get on the patches, all you have to do is the same thing you have to do if you want to get on Youngevity products. And all you have to do is get a hold of me at Chance Music, CHANCE Music at yahoo.com. And here's what's going on. I'm going to show you this. I'm not doing a strip tease or anything like this, but I'm going to show you just exactly what's going on. I hurt my shoulder. I take my hat off. Sorry, what? I hurt my shoulder, and if you can see that, I have got 5 patches on there right now. 5 different patches. And actually, yeah, there's 5 different patches, but I have 2 sleep patches on there. Now, the sleep patches are supposed to help you sleep, but what I have found by my own experimentation, okay, I take these patches off, and an hour later, I'm having a hard time going to sleep. I'm having a hard time finding a good position. I leave the patches on. The pain is minimalized by 75%, and I'm using all different patches. So they're obviously all working together in concert, and they're helping my shoulder, which is very stiff and sore. And I hurt it Tuesday, and it hasn't been much fun, but as long as I can keep it in this position, the patches are really helping. Now, I have heard that Maria number 1's mother has reached another plateau. She's kind of leveled off. She's sleeping a lot, but for somebody that was supposed to be in hospice, and now she's getting out once a week to go play bingo, and she's getting a lot of sleep, but her body needs healing time. Her body is, people don't have a tendency, all people have a tendency not to take care of themselves. They're taking care of others first and themselves last. And what you've got to do is this, as a consumer user of the LifeWave patches, you have to make a commitment to yourself. I'm 74 years old in October, and so that means I got to be on the patches for at least 7 months before I see something happen. Well, wrong. My responses have been amazing. The dark circles are out from under my eyes. My hair is starting to turn black again. My mustache gets blacker every time I come on the air. And the other thing is, how? Let me show you if you can see this. Okay, you can see some age spots in my skin, right? I'm old. Okay. There's some age spots. But what you didn't see is that paper mache, crepe paper wrinkles. Okay. Those are going away. They're almost all the way gone. The other thing is, you notice, look, no hanging down skin like that. Okay. No hanging down skin. And if I took, and I don't want to do this, I'm not going to, but if I took my shirt off, you would notice that my pectoral muscles right here are getting more defined, like they were back in the late 80s when I was working out all the time. I had the barbells, and I was getting built, I was getting buff. Okay. And so that's what I have noticed. Okay. Also, if you could see here, other side, if you could see here, okay, this is what they call the laugh line. Okay, your laugh line right there. See it? You can see it now. Okay, but it is actually slowly tightening up my skin. And when it looks like this, I'll be very, very happy, because that means that laugh line is gone and it is starting to go away. My skin is starting to tighten up. So that's what I notice on me. We can't talk about a lot of other people. We're going to, but I can tell you that I ran out of my X39s and I'm panicking. Okay. Because I know I can see the improvements, and I didn't get myself in this shape that I'm in. I didn't get myself in this shape overnight, and I can't expect overnight results from the patches. It's a treatment. It's not a cure, and it's a medical device. So if you are in Australia and you want to get the patches, get a hold of Wyatt. If you're in the United States, you can get a hold of Doc G, Fascinating Brian, or myself. Okay, I have maintained my status as a senior director now, and I'm pretty proud of that. And we're getting more people signed up every day. That means more people are getting responsible for their own health. And yeah, it costs some money. Okay, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry we can't give them out for free. That's not the way. Anything given away free has little or no value. You have to work for it. You have to earn it. Okay. Yeah, I took the hat off, Wyatt. I don't now it disappeared. Oh, there it is.
No, me and hats are like women and shoes. I got plenty of hats.
The dogs didn't like that, Wyatt.
Here's something outside. Here's what's getting ready. Here's what's happening. It's getting ready to storm here. We got a storm brew. So they're probably feeling that. Okay. So that's what's going on there. But anyway, listen. I'm going to tell you something. Everybody, just get ready. The trains are coming. Okay. And if that's all you're worried about, the money, well, it's coming. Okay. I'm worried about many, many other things. I'm worried about people's health. I'm worried about the children. Oh my God, the children. And you want to know why they have in the smoke, all the fires and everything in Canada? Do you want to know? Same reason they had them in Hawaii. Same reason they had them in North Carolina. The fires are cleaning out the tunnels. They're cleaning out the cable guys' dumps. They're cleaning it out. That's the only way that the military can do this. The military is the only way. Okay? I know you're impatient. I know you want to get going. I know a lot of you are saying, when is this going to happen, Chance? I'm doing okay, but I really want to get out and help people. You can help people now. You can help people now. Help an older person carry their groceries out. QFS, I think every adult receives an amount and reparation income. That's right. You are right. That is correct. The Redemption Center is a different financial process, allowing those who want funds for humanitarian projects, etc. That is correct. Everybody will have a QFS card eventually, but the currency holders go first, and 3 months after that's over, then the general public will go in and say you're going to have to go in and get your QFS card. And so you'll be getting your earned basic income, your EBI every month, your $5,000 some dollars a month. But you either got to be retired or you got to be working a gig. Okay, I don't care if you're a DJ. I don't care if you're a janitor. I don't care if you're flipping burgers. I don't care if you're an automobile mechanic. Okay, the reparations. Okay, worry is not good for your health. You are right, Linda. Okay, I really don't worry about anything. I turn everything over to my highest power. I turn everything over to God Almighty. I turn everything over to the powers that are. Okay, and I don't worry about things. I really don't worry about things. If my car was to throw a rod tomorrow, I would be inconvenienced, but I would deal with it. I deal with every problem that I have, mostly through the grace of the listeners. How do they know who owns currency? Is that the question you're talking about, Wyatt? They know every piece of currency that you hold, whether it was gifted to you or not. Okay?
And you want to know how they do that? Because every dollar
US
is tracked. Every single dollar or every single denomination of currency, no matter where it's from, is tracked because it's got a serial number. It's got a isotope in it. It's got all the security features. They know, but it's also reflected in your bank accounts or when you've bought something from like the 100 Trillions store on eBay or whatever like that, right? They know.
Right. Okay, Maya, here's a good thing here. Satellites are going to be falling from the sky. Okay, I want to fix you up on this. Okay, you know the satellites that are supposed to be orbiting the Earth. There are no satellites orbiting the Earth. The satellites that you talk about are being held up by helium balloons the size of football fields. That's what's holding them up there. There's no satellites that can get outside of the Van Allen radiation belt, guys. The firmament, you can't get through it. Okay, what do you think Elon Musk is firing rockets up there for? Okay, he's trying to
get through it.
Be out of his mind, you know, and Hillary. And even Hillary was trying to figure out ways, and we will get through. We will get through that firmament, she said. We will get through it. Bullshit, Hillary. Okay, put your horns back in your purse and enjoy your eternity in Iceland. Okay, because
and the biggest user of helium in the world is NASA,
right?
Not a space agency.
Yeah, and that's when this all comes out. It's gonna be.
Oh, hey, I want to know.
People are gonna say, "How the hell did you know? How'd you know, Chance? How'd you know? What makes you so damn smart?"
You know, if the moon landing was real, if it was real, what I want to know. This is the burning question of the day, right? How did Nixon, on a landline that was terror, right, make a phone call to Armstrong and crew on the phone? That's the first part of the question. The second part of the question is without any kind of time delay because of the distance, because back in those days, if you'd made a long distance call, there was always an echo.
Yep.
Right? You didn't get that. How did he make that phone call when in today's cellular networks, there are places where you cannot get reception. I want to know how they did that in 1969, if indeed it was real.
It was just your
not real.
imagination.
Yeah, but I want
That's
to know.
what it was.
I want to know. And I want to know
Yeah.
why there were three different light sources in the photos that came from NASA, showing the direction, all of the varying shadows. I thought the sun was the only source of light.
Well, you know what my dad said? I told this last week. I said, aren't you impressed that we got the first man on the moon? He says, he can't be the first man on the moon. I said, well, why not? I just saw it. He says, the cameraman had to be out there taking the film. So who's the cameraman? He's the first man on the moon. I got sent to the principal's office for saying that at science class.
I can tell you what, it was Stanley Kubrick. That's who the cameraman was.
Yeah, I know. It's all out there if you want to find it. You know, it's all out there. It's just, oh my God. Okay. Listen, we are doing really, really good on time tonight, and I really don't have a lot more to say tonight. I'm going to tell you about the RV protocol papers if you want them. I'll be up for another 10 or 15 minutes. So you better get them quick, because I'm telling you, things are moving very fast. You better send a email to me at chancemusic@yahoo.com, and you pay $50 donation to $McFadden Chance on Cash App. That's $MCFADDENCHANC on Cash App, or you can send $50 to Brian Paul McFadden on wise.com, and it'll say what's the email, and it'll say you just use my email, chancemusic@yahoo.com. We'll send them out to you. Any love offerings can be sent to the same addresses, and I thank you very much. Got a special going on. We're raising money for Hamilton Radio again. So here's what we got going on, okay? For every $10 that you send to me that's in Cash App or Wise, for every $10, you're going to get 4 tickets for every $10, because Stacy Little won the guitar and she wanted to donate it back. So $10 will get you 4 opportunities, 4 tickets to get the acoustic guitar. It's a cutaway acoustic electric, or it's not electric, but it's acoustic guitar. It plays very, very good. I had it on one of the other shows. And so you send $10 and put guitar in it in the message, and I will send it on to Doc G, and you get 4 tickets. And at the end of the month, we're gonna draw the guitar. Okay, we're gonna give it away. And if you want me to sign it, I'll be glad to sign it any way you want, or I can just leave it the way it is. Okay, so that covers all that. I want you all to know how much we very much appreciate you. I want you all to know how much, when I get a donation, whether it's $40 or more, what I do, I have to gasp. I have to gasp and say, praise God. We must be doing something right. I'm very glad that I can help you all. And this is wonderful team that we have put together. And Debbie, you're still part of the team, even though you're not on the show. We understand you got things going on with the Republic. And, same way with Ann and Doc Wiedemann and Lillian. They're all part of the team. And we appreciate you all for being part of the team. It's not all just me. I'd look pretty stupid up here by myself. But anyway, I want you to be good to yourselves. And I want you to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Just remember 520-741-8. These are numbers you can't debate, okay? Because they're numbers of completion. I want you now to think about our final thoughts. Doc G, what is your final thoughts for tonight?
My final thoughts are, I don't know if everybody can hear me or not, but I want everybody again to not only hear to what Wyatt says, Brian says, and Chance, but to make it as easy possible as you can to transition into whatever we're going to transition into. I'm open into all types of different businesses or different things that we're going to be doing. And I'm just willing to work with anybody that wants to work with me. So my door is always open, guys.
That's awesome. Fascinating, Brian. What do you got, brother?
Go within. Everything's within, so go within. No limits. That's it.
That's pretty deep, really. It really is. Okay. Wyatt, what do you got for me, brother, for your final thoughts tonight?
As final thoughts, get a trust. Get it done. Get your trust ready. Even if it's not witnessed, you take it in there. You can show that you've been preparing and that you are prepared. You'll probably get a better rate because of it. Okay. Second, medbeds are going to follow very soon after the RV, which for us as currency holders, we're going to be getting the first opportunity on the medbeds very soon too. So if you've got health problems, that will sort some of those out, but you still need to get the patches, and it, because they do work. That's the thing. These patches do work. We wouldn't endorse them if they didn't. And if you go back and look at the videos, you can see how much Chance's appearance has changed. Even with Doc G, even his appearance has changed, right? And that's since I've been on the show. So, just put your best foot forward. Stay out of the greed mentality. It will happen soon. But my real concern right now is for the patriots in America to stay home and stay away from these protests, because it could end up being the trigger for martial law in the United States. And once martial law is announced, the game changes completely, right? If you're on the street when they say you're not supposed to be on the street, you're considered an insurrectionist and you most likely get shot. So stay home. Don't get involved in it. You can support what the military is doing by staying home and doing what they ask you to do. That's it for me, Chance. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Bless you. Bless you, Wyatt. Listen, stay home and listen. You got something you can do. You could sit there and you could pray. You can go within, like Brian said. You could seek your higher self. You could set the terms and conditions, not only for yourself, but for your entire environment, your city, your house. You could set your terms and conditions for your county, for your state, for your country, and the other countries coming to the North American Union. Set those terms and conditions. It really helps. I mean, it really does. When we had that tornado last week, it was a week ago last Tuesday, we had a tornado here in Fort Madison. And I had put a prayer of protection over the entire house. And I've got a very old tree out here that hangs over the main structure of the house, of the apartment and the shop. And I've always been scared of it during a storm because I can see it going like this sometimes, and thinking, oh my God, there goes $50,000 worth of damage if that thing goes over. And a storm hit, but it went one block down the street. I set the terms and conditions, and I set the prayers out, and it hit the house one block over. Didn't hit me. There is power in prayer. There is power in believing in yourself and your own superpowers. There is power in words. There is power in frequency and vibration. Anybody that thinks that in the future you're not going to be able to put a portal out and go see your friend in Kansas City, okay? What does it see? Start asking for everything in the highest and the best. Yes, that's good. That's good. I want the best for everybody. I want the best health. I want the people that I know who are the sickest. Brother Morris, Brother Dave is doing really, really well, but I want him to do even better. I don't want him walking around the block. I want him jogging around the block. I want the best for him. I want the best for Maria number one's mother. I want the best for Tara, our friend who is on our Telegram page. I want the best for Bernadette. I want the best for everybody that listens to this show. I want the best for Karen, who called me today because she got a crappy letter from the IRS. We're going to work through this together, Karen, because the IRS is all but done, and all we're doing is waiting for an announcement. Brother Jim called me. I talked to Brother Jim last night, the man that lost his house and everything. He does not know. He does not have a clue to how close he is to getting his exchange, to getting his property back, and getting reparations for the injustices perpetrated on him. Okay, my final thoughts is I love you all. All you need is love. That's all you need. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. I have a guy that comes over and helps me. He comes over and helps me every day. His name's Tim. And he's got some problems. Flowers at the Guards. Good. No boundaries on the prayers. I like that. No boundaries on the prayers. Okay? Just remember, everything you see on TV is just bullshit. Every bit of it. Most of the YouTube stuff is bullshit. And I hate to say this, there's some other good podcasters out there, but I'm to tell you what, when you want to talk about a group of guys that come on here and do nothing but be brutally stinking honest with you, and that's this show right here. I mean, I'll pat myself on the back, and I'll pat every one of these guys on the back. We're brutally honest, and I don't want nothing but the best for you all. So I want to tell you tonight, I love you all. I appreciate your donations. I appreciate you buying the RV protocol papers, and I appreciate you using the patches, because that means you are getting responsible for your own health. You're raising your vibrations by using the patches and the longevity products. Okay, I take the minerals every day. Megan, my dog that almost got killed this time last year, she takes the minerals every day. I got extra 6 months of life out of my Lexi dog because of Dr. Wiedemann and giving her, and her time was up, but I got an extra 6 months out of her, and it was just wonderful time. She slept with me, 4 o'clock feeding. It was wonderful. It's all about love. It's loving your animals. It's loving your people. It's loving your yard. It's loving your house. And if you live in a car, then it's loving your car. Whatever the gifts that God given you, love yourself. Love the abundance you are going to get, because you're going to have abundance in health, wealth. Your abundance and your joy are going to be incredible. Okay? Just don't concentrate so much on the money. Guess why?
The greatest gift you were ever given is your life.
Yes.
Right? Now, it may not be the life you necessarily think you deserve, but it is your life. Don't ever give up on that.
Yeah, because you listen, every day is a new day. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is a new frequency, and every day is a new vibration. Love yourself like I love you. Okay? And if you need to call me, then call me. Oh, Chance, I just wanted to hear your voice. And because this means hope. Okay? In the comic book, Superman stands for hope. Doesn't stand for Satan. It's Superman stands for hope. That's why I wear a Superman shirt every day. I love you guys. I want to thank you for listening to our show, not just my show, but our show. I want to thank you on behalf of all of our guests and regulars. And go with God, be safe, go within, and I love you. With all that, I'll see you all next week. Maybe. God bless. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.